So I just want to get one more time to the question of who was hiding the fact that Bin Laden was actually in Iran. And
our intelligence agencies, they have plausible deniability. In the end, I have 10 silver bullets, including 2 royal family members from 2 different royal families, from 2 different countries, including in the end, the person that was in the room, who was a knock for our government for 50 years. He's not from the U.S. He's become a friend of mine. He's been to my home. We've met dozens of times. And on one of my trips to the Middle East, he said to me, he calls me, my dear, you were right. I said, about what? He said, about a lot of things. But you're right about Bin Laden. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, he was placed in Iran, in Baluchistan. He said, I said, he said, yes, I know that. He said, I was in the room when the deal was cut. So the U.S. has plausible deniability that they weren't in the room.
Was the point to get to Iraq?
The point was to manipulate, to get our troops committed, to go over to fight the battles in Afghanistan, Iraq, and that whole region of the world.
Yes.
And they had to have the justification to do that.
I believe it.
But in the end, when 5 years ago, and even Trump doesn't know this, I'm sure, we killed someone that Trump took great credit for, and I applaud him for it. And he said, we killed this guy.
Soleimani.
That's right. Soleimani was the guy the deal was cut with. The deal was not cut with the Iranian government. And we need to understand that. And this is the heart of what we have to get to. The Iranian people are not our enemy. I wrote this book in 2005, Countdown to Terror. It's all about Iran. It says that the people of Iran are not our enemy. And this book was endorsed by Jim Woolsey with a 3-page letter.
Former CIA director.
This book was endorsed by Jack Caravelli, Gore's CIA advisor. They both endorsed my book. The book was so popular that the people of Iran published it in Farsi. There it is. And they published the book. Without my approval, they published my book. It became a bestseller in Iran because it said, you're not the enemy of the American people. Here's what happened, Tucker. When the Shah was in power, think back, we were best friends with Iran.
Of course.
Our intelligence people trained the Iranian intelligence people. We trained them. They were our people. When the radical Ayatollahs and the mullahs took over Iran, they did not bring in a new intelligence service. They did not change the agency. The IRG stayed the same. The deal to place Bin Laden in Iran wasn't cut with the Iranian government. It was cut with Soleimani. And that's why we killed him. Our intelligence agency has tentacles around the world. And they're not answering to anybody. And that's the problem right now. That's the problem Trump has. Yeah, he can cut off the security clearance of 51, but that network extends far and wide around the world, and they can play all the games they want in Ukraine, in other countries. And until we go after that, this is not going to stop.
That's consistent, all consistent with